Hello viewer, today I will talk about the quaternary structure of the protein with globular protein aspect. I will talk about the characteristics of the quaternary structure as well as globular protein. I will talk about different types, role of the globular protein, structure and function of the myoglobin, hemoglobin, immunoglobulin as well as albumin. I will talk about their evolution and purification strategies. So globular protein are called as spheroprotein. So they have globin fold. They can be detected by tertiary structure, the three-dimensional structure. So globin fold means the hydrophobic residues are buried inside and hydrophilic residues are protruded outside. They are needed for different type of metabolic functions. What are they? They need for the metabolism, they act as enzyme, they act as a transmembrane protein, so they have regulatory role as messenger like hormone, etc. So they can be folded by the globin fold structure. As we know that in 1958, John Kenrue have proposed the three-dimensional model of the myoglobin, and for this reason in 1962 along with Perutz they got the Nobel Prize. Quaternary structure. It is the fourth level of organization of protein. This can be present in some protein, cannot be present, where the tertiary structure is the optimum. Two or more tertiary structure can be present and combined for the function as well. Here we can find the subunit interactions are present. They may be the same subunit or different subunit. 153 amino acid in myoglobin and hemoglobin have alpha and beta chain. Alpha chain 146 amino acid, beta chain 141 amino acids. Now the thing is there, when they make the subunit interface surface interactions are hydrophobic. That is similar with the hydrophobic core of the tertiary structure. As well as we can find the non-mirror image structure, superimposition structure and symmetry of the subunit distribution. Now reasons for the quaternary structure. These quaternary structure can be made for the energetic efficiency, genetic efficiency, accuracy, etc. or structural stability as well. If anything is getting disturbed, defected, that can be repaired or replaced by the block. Cooperativity, allostericity can also be monitored or described by this quaternary structure and coordinated regulation as well. Globular structure characteristics. As I have already told you, the three-dimensional structure, it is giving rise to the compact fold detected by the what sort of structure? That is the globin fold structure, and can be detected by light scattering. Here we can find the hydrophobic core inner side and hydrophilic residues are protruded outside. Not only that, these globular protein have modular structure, multi-domain structure, 200 amino acids or more amino acids can be present, and when they make this multi-domain structure, they are made by the carbohydrate structure needed for the signaling purpose. We also find the myoglobin globular protein as well. The interesting thing is that they may be, usually they are aqueous soluble, water soluble, but there are so many different other lipid soluble like cytochrome oxidase is also present, and they have different metabolic functions as well. Next one, globular structure and solubility. So globular structure are folded according to the alpha and beta propensities. They will make the hydrophobic core and hydrophilic outside. But minimum energy is marginally stable by release of minimum amount of energy. So rapid rate of the turnover rate for the disintegration or synthesis of the protein. As we know that for proper folding, nucleation, condensation and diffusion collision model is there, but in case of P, D, Z two-fold, both the model actually can be applied over here. Now globular protein role in case of enzyme, so specificity is given at the three-dimensional site, the active site is made by the pocket where it can bind with the substrate. The messengers, neurotransmitter, hormones are there. Regulate the cellular function as well as transmembrane protein are there which acts to transport some specific things. So they have regulatory role, they act as a receptor, etc. Globular protein types: myoglobin, hemoglobin, immunoglobulin, as well as I will talk about the albumin also. Myoglobin structure. So they have the space filling model. So myoglobin is the oxygen storage protein. 20% of the cellular protein is made by this. 75% have the alpha helical structure. The right-handed 8 helices are there. One polypeptide chain is actually folded up. A to H, 8 helices are there, right-handed oriented. The space filling model occupies the main alpha and beta make the space filling model. Mainly alpha helical structure, but 310 helix can be found. They are attached by the non-helical structure as well. In case of myoglobin, globin is the protein part and the prosthetic part is made by the porphyrin derivative, protoporphyrin 9 or heme. Heme is actually bound at the crevice made by the hydrophobic arch chain of the globin. So it actually protects Fe2 plus oxidation state. Okay, so globin shell not only protect the Fe2 plus from the further oxidation, but also it makes the reversible oxidation as well. So it is attached to the histidine of the arch chain of the globin, okay, on one hand side, and it is attached by the 4 ligand to the nitrogen of the tetrapyrrole ring of the protoporphyrin 9 ring or porphyrin derivative, as well as the 5th ligand binding site attached to the proximal histidine, but when it binds with the oxygen, it lies to the distal histidine of the myoglobin structure. It has oxygen storage capacity. So it is monomeric protein. Ribbon model of sperm whale myoglobin. No cysteine residue, so no disulfide bond. Inside no space, only 4 water molecule is accommodated. 4 proline residue at turns. CONH are at the trans, and inside nonpolar leucine, valine and methionine are there. Next one, functional analysis of the myoglobin. So myoglobin is single subunit protein. So when it binds at the lung with oxygen with high oxygen pressure, 100 millimeter of Hg, so very little amount of oxygen pressure make it partially saturated, and it actually fine in case of whale, in case of seal, in case of paramecium as well, and it distributes the oxygen, stores oxygen in the skeletal muscle. So in the skeletal muscle blood capillary it wets, and actually 30 millimeter oxygen pressure is present over here. Present can also, the pressure can, oxygen can also be described by torr. When by the harsh exercise respiration, the pressure drops below 2 millimeter of Hg, then only it releases oxygen. Because from the curve we also know with very low oxygen pressure it is getting partially saturated. Now, when we are talking about analysis of the graph, we can find as single oxygen binding site is there. So, it is the hyperbolic site. So, Mb plus O2 is equal to MbO2. Now, K, that is affinity constant, is equal to concentration of MbO2 divided by concentration of Mb and concentration of oxygen. Now, theta is the saturation coefficient or fractional saturation YO2, that is equal to site occupied divided by site available for the oxygen binding. Now, hemoglobin structure. Hemoglobin is the tetrameric structure, alpha 2 beta 2 structure. Two-fold rotation is present, and we can find that is the vertices of the tetrahedron structure. Here actually the alpha 1 beta 2 and alpha 2 beta 1, these surface interaction make the stable structure. In case of hemoglobin, we can find the alpha 1 beta 2 as well as beta 1 beta 2. These alpha 1 alpha 2 beta 1 beta 2, 4 subunits are there, and pseudosymmetry is present for this heterooligomeric protein. Here we can find the interesting thing, each monomer resemble with the myoglobin structure. Here we can find the presence of the globin chain which surrounds the, make the hydrophobic core, where we can find the presence of the porphyrin derivative, that is protoporphyrin 9, made by the tetrapyrrole ring structure, and centrally coordinated iron atom is actually present. So it, where we can find it is alpha, beta, gamma, delta, so many different genes make this hemoglobin structure, make the hemoglobin variation. But we have to remember these iron will be coordinated at the 5th ligand binding position to the histidine 93 of F8 helix. And when it is not bound in the deoxyhemoglobin state, it will bound at the 6th position with water. But when the oxygen will bind, that will interact with the E7 histidine 64 residue, that is called distal histidine. The first histidine is called as proximal histidine. Now, oxygen binding with this iron actually communicated to other subunit, make it more susceptible towards the oxygen binding. So, allostericity and cooperativity is actually found over here. General function, it receives oxygen from the lung near about the 100 millimeter of pressure. Now through it is the oxygen transport protein, and in blood plasma it is 30 millimeter pressure. When by the action of the respiration, it delivers the thing by its cooperativity, allostericity delivers oxygen by Bohr effect towards the external peripheral tissue cells. That is the general function. Now, when we are talking about the other function, it will relate the oxygen binding and transport mechanism, this binding site as well as allosteric change of hemoglobin, as well as mechanism from the T to R transition, spectral absorption, models. I will talk about the cooperative binding, Hill equation, effect of other ligands, response to pH change, hemoglobin variants and different hemoglobinopathies. The oxygen binding site, that I have already told you that iron is within the heme, that is the prosthetic group, and here it is octahedrally coordinated. The 4 ligand binding sites are occupied by the nitrogen of the tetraphenol ring. 5th binding site is connected with the proximal histidine, and 6th binding site will be bound to the oxygen, that will be connected to the distal histidine here. And we can find in case of this porphyrin 9, the 4-methyl, 2-propenyl and vinyl, these sort of substitutions are there. They are connected by the methane bridge. They are within the hydrophobic pocket made by the R chains, hydrophobic chains by the globin residues. Now, allosteric change in hemoglobin. After binding with oxygen in one subunit, what is getting happen? So, there is a change in alpha beta 2. These particular subunit surface, they slide in 15 degree, 0.1 nanometer is getting shifted. So, some sort of stress is actually obtained. So, that is communicated, coordinated with other subunit, and when it is coordinated to other subunit, the surface interaction make the different coordination, make the different communication, different surface changes to make the different subunit interaction, new quaternary structure is actually made here. Now, mechanism from T to R transition. T is taut, that is deoxyhemoglobin state, and high affinity relaxed state is R state. Now, what we know that the mechanism is that usually iron is dome shaped, that is out of the porphyrin plane or heme plane, that is actually 55 angstrom. But when it binds with oxygen, which pulls it down towards the iron plane at around 20 angstrom. Now, when it pulls down, so there is a certain kind of stress is made. That particular stress can be organized by the proximal histidine, histidine F8. So, these F helix have some sort of strain. So, that strain is actually pushed towards the FG corner right, and new alpha beta surface is getting shifted. So, in this way that destroys the hydrophobic interaction, salt bridge interaction, which actually hold all the 4 subunits together. So, by which actually the other deoxygenated pocket or iron will be more susceptible to bind with the oxygen. So, that is actually the cooperativity, that is binding energy to the other subunit of oxygen will be getting reduced here. Spectral absorption, as we know that Fe3 plus is the condition where it is called as methemoglobin in case of hemoglobin, or in case of myoglobin it is called methmyoglobin. Within the RBC, methmyoglobin reductase is there, which actually converts back to the Fe2 plus condition. But according to the absorption, Fe3 plus in methemoglobin have absorption at 405 nanometer. 430 nanometer for the arterial blood, which is purple in color, that is Fe2 plus deoxyhemoglobin condition, and Fe2 plus oxyhemoglobin condition has absorption at 415 nanometer oxyhemoglobin we can find. Now, model. either sequential model, concerted model or multi-state model. In case of sequential model, that is called as KNF model, we can find the subunit changes one at a time by binding with oxygen. But in case of concerted model, that is MWC model, so for the tetrameric structure, there is the equilibrium in between T and a taut and R state we can find. And in case of multi-state model, more than 2 states are available by obeying concerted switch. Cooperative oxygen binding. So, allosteric regulation obeys what? The Adair equation, and it follows. Not only that, as more than one subunits are present to achieve oxygen, so it follows the cooperative, the sigmoidal kinetics. And we also find the communication in between the conformational changes of all the subunits are actually followed. The Perutz mechanism is followed. What is Perutz mechanism? The description of the dynamic behavior of the hemoglobin by the T and R state. So, they actually make it the stable structure. As we know, the stable state is maintained by alpha 1 beta 2 as well as alpha 2 beta 1, this surface interaction. So, it is type of cooperative sigmoidal curve. Now, Hill equation. So, in case of the myoglobin, so YO2 is equal to pressure of oxygen PO2 partial pressure divided by P50 by PO2. But here Hill equation YO2 or fractional saturation will be equal to PO2 to the power n divided by P50 to the power n plus PO2 to the power n. N is Hill coefficient that designates the degree of cooperativity, 1 for myoglobin, 3 for hemoglobin. And here we can follow the oxygen saturation curve as well. Effects with other ligands. So, with negative impact, it binds with H plus, Cl minus, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, etc. as well as 2,3 biphosphogycerate. These 2,3 biphosphogycerate has much more affinity in case of adult hemoglobin HbA rather than that of the fetal hemoglobin. So, it actually regulates the high altitude condition, and T state, the taut state is getting stabilized deoxyhemoglobin state by this BPG because it fits in the deoxyhemoglobin condition. The response to pH change, that is Bohr effect or Holden effect. The carbon dioxide transport, as we know that in case of peripheral tissue, the pH is so low, 7.2, 7.4 etc. So, the carbon dioxide diffuses out from the cell inside the RBC. This carbon dioxide along with water bicarbonic anhydrase makes bicarbonate as well as H plus. These bicarbonate to make the electrical neutrality by chloride shift, Cl minus will go outside. Now, after this electrical neutrality, we know that these bicarbonate will be transported via this sort of RBC, that is called the Bohr effect. Now, H plus will compete to bind to the hemoglobin, so oxygen will be released in the peripheral tissue. Now, the opposite effect, the Holden effect, will be found in the alveolar tissue, where by the carbonic anhydrase the opposite reaction will be going on. Carbon dioxide will be expelled out by the effect of pH, elevated pH 7.6 etc. So, oxygen will be loaded in the high pressure. So, that is called the Holden effect, apart from which the 15% of this carbon dioxide is transported as the methemoglobin, the carbaminohemoglobin condition, hemoglobin NH2 at the N-terminal residue in the taut state. Otherwise, the cyanate can also affect at the chloride shift and Bohr effect. The hemoglobin variants, the fetal hemoglobin, as we know that is called HbF, apart from which we can find the main adult hemoglobin, hemoglobin A2, that is alpha 2 beta 2. The thalassemic hemoglobin is alpha 2 delta 2. In case of fetal hemoglobin, that changes during the embryonic development. First, it is zeta 2 epsilon 2 in the early embryo, but after some times it is getting converted to alpha 2 epsilon 2, and in 6 months old it is getting converted to alpha 2 gamma 2. Then only after birth the gamma 2 is getting converted to beta 2. This gamma has high propensity towards, affinity towards the oxygen when it is in the HbF condition, that is the fetal hemoglobin condition. And after birth this gamma chain is getting distributed, that is getting disintegrated very easily, frequently, so that causes the physiological jaundice in the within the 7 days after neonatal birth. HbS is the sickle cell hemoglobin, and we can find in the heterozygous condition as well, that is called the variant hemoglobin inheritance, the inheritance of the hemoglobin variants. The hemoglobinopathies, as I have already told that in case of hemoglobin A, sickle cell hemoglobin, so there is a substitution of aspartic acid to valine, so salt bridge interaction can be changed. So that is cause for the sickle cell anemia, so the RBC structure will be changed. But in case of heterozygous, we can find the sickle cell trait that causes the resistance towards the malaria. In case of thalassemia, alpha and beta gene, so there are so many deletions there, there are different expression of alpha and beta gene. So for beta, one gene is there that causes the beta thalassemia, but alpha, for alpha 1 and alpha 2, two genes are there causing alpha thalassemia. So they are the different pathological expression of the mutant hemoglobin, where the mutations are deleterious. So protein evolution, the myoglobin, hemoglobin, we will know that, so they have conserved folding pattern, globin fold. So they have globin gene on the chromosome 22, chromosome 16, 11 gene duplication happens. So that gives the continuous evolution. So they gives the new speciation. We can find the different developmental stage hemoglobin as well. So by exon shuffling, by recombination, by substitution, deletion, mutation, new gene can be found. But hemoglobin, myoglobin belong to the same family and they are coming from the myoglobin like protein. As we all know that convergent evolution, divergent needed for the functioning by gene duplication and found in cytochrome C oxidase, where conserved lysine, cysteine, glycine residues are there. Now difference in mode of action of hemoglobin and myoglobin. So hemoglobin have tetrameric cooperativity, allostericity. So cooperativity means by binding of the oxygen to one subunit. So they make the deoxy subunit, the deoxy hemoglobin condition to other subunit more susceptible towards oxygen by lowering the binding of oxygen, the lowering the binding energy. That is called cooperativity. Allosteric mean other side. Okay, so by one subunit binding that influences other binding side, oxygen binding capacity can be changed. So it is the sigmoidal curve because multiple oxygen binding sites are there. So oxygen acts as homotropic regulator, but in case of myoglobin, single binding site give the hyperbolic kinetics. 45 into 35 into 25 angstrom is the dimension of myoglobin and the dimension of hemoglobin is 65 into 55 into 50 angstrom. TOR effect, different in P50 half saturation for myoglobin at low pressure of oxygen, for hemoglobin high pressure of oxygen. That is called TOR effect. The immunoglobulin structure. The immunoglobulin are fighting against the antigens. So they have Y-shaped chain. So this is 4 chains, 2 heavy chain, 2 light chains connected by the disulfide linkage. At hinge region the prolines are there. So they have variable region by binding to the different antigen and the constant region dictates what classes will be there. So if we digest with papain, FAB and FC fragments are produced and the carboxylation and carbohydrate presence actually designates the destination for phagocytes and all. So let's talk about their type. IgM, so they are 5 chains are there interconnected by the J chain as well as that is needed for the complementary cascade to trigger up. Next, very important is gamma globulin or IgG that is needed for the secretion. IgA, DE is also found. IgA is needed for the secretion. Over the B cell, we can find the presence of IgD and E is also very important for the allergic response as well. So immunoglobulin function, so they give the clonal, according to the clonal selection theory, they fight against the antigens and we can find the 2 types of B cell, B plasma and B memory cells, and B cells propagated to give rise to B lymphocytes and T cell give the generation of the different clones, they help the propagation. Next, albumin structure and function. So as we know that this is also plasma protein. Okay, they soluble in water and they dissolve in the aqueous solvent. Here we can find the presence of the subdomain. They are the homologous subunits are there. The subdomains are 2A and 3A. 6 disulfide linkages are present. They bind with fatty acid as well as ions, cations of the blood plasma protein. Purification, globular protein can be purified by different techniques. First, the differential centrifugation. The protein can be separated according to the mass. 2D gel electrophoresis. The proteins are resolved on the electric field according to charges to mass ratio. Gel exclusion chromatography, the proteins are separated according to the size or mass. So, we know that the larger protein will come slowly. And ion exchange chromatography, proteins are separated according to their charge by interacting with the matrix. Affinity chromatography, proteins are separated according to the binding with specific molecule like antibodies. And Western blotting, by hybridization of the protein of interest can be screened out, dissolved out by help with binding of antibodies. So students, I have described about all aspects of the structure and function of globular protein, especially the quaternary structure of the globular protein hemoglobin and monomeric protein myoglobin. Thank you very much.